Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Paige.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Hi, I'm Abdullah.
Hi, I am Tima.
And this is Erasmus in Muğla.
Reşat Hoca kayıt et.
Turkey first, yemek. Yemek is the best.
Ben basam.
I can start. Hi, everyone.
Champion Trabzon. I've been to a lot of places. I'm really proud that I visited all these places.
Can I name the cities I've been to in Turkey?
In Muğla, Bodrum, Marmaris,
Milas, Akyaka,
İzmir, Fethiye, Oludeniz. Guys, help me.
Denizli, Pamukkale, Çeşme, İzmir, Cappadocia, Konya, Ankara. I've been to the Atatürk's, the tower. We have only been to Ankara for 3 days.
Pamukkale, İzmir, I said, Çeşme, Alaçatı, Datça. I've been to many cities. Konya on the passage to go to Cappadocia, Salt Lake, then Istanbul. I really love Istanbul, but after Cappadocia, Istanbul was my favorite.
Istanbul for New Year celebration in Turkey. They are very friendly, although it's hard to find someone to speak English, but they will still help you with Google Translate. They will help you.
Turkey, a geographical and a cultural bridge between Asia and Europe, the jewel of Eurasia. Anatolia has been home to countless civilizations and has always been a touristic attraction throughout history. Especially Aegean and Mediterranean shores are an image of heaven on earth. It is even said that Cleopatra herself was gifted an island just offshore Bodrum. The Bodrum castle was made by the knights of the island Crete with the stones salvaged from the ruins of one of the 7 wonders of the world, mausoleus. Wonders, libraries, academies came to be and passed away or passed on the knowledge they gathered. Today, a city called Muğla carries the journey of Homo sapiens sapiens at the crossing of Aegean and Mediterranean seas. And in this city, a university with the same name carries the flag of science and art onward. I studied arts in Eskişehir, where King Midas and Frigya once was, and Master of Graphic Design in the beautiful piece of heaven, Bodrum, Muğla. As an exchange student, I went to Madrid for 6 months and learned how important it is to study abroad. That is why I gathered academicians and students to explain studying abroad to potential international exchange students. My name is Bulut Tanyeri, and in this documentary, we will explain why you should study abroad, and more importantly, why you should choose MSKÜ to achieve that.
Merhaba arkadaş, yine isimli Daniel, unicim Malta. My name is Daniel and I'm from Malta.
Сәлем, менің атым Гүлдана, фамилия Муташева. Мен Қазақстаннан келген студентпін. Туризм факультетінде оқып жатырмын. Hello, my name is Gülдана. I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm studying tourism in Muğla Sıtkı Koçman Üniversitesi.
Sziasztok! Az én nevem Tima, és 23 éves vagyok. Hi, my name is Tima, and I am 23 years old. Merhaba, benim adım Tima, 23 yaşındayım.
I'm the Korean ambassador Wonik Lee. I'm very happy to be here. To give a lecture to the students. So I really had a really happy time here. I studied in the Seoul National University. My major was anthropology. And then I moved up to the United States, complete the master's degree, the international relations.
Yeah, thank you. Well, welcome to Turkey. I've been living in Turkey for 15 years. So my name is Olivier Jean Henry. I'm a professor at Lyon University for 3 years, and before that I was teaching in Bilkent University for another 3 to 4 years.
1, 2, 3. Hello, my friends. My name is Medet. I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm going to play Balbaron on Dombra.
Hello, my name is Kanat, surname Aşirkulov. I'm studying in Muğla Sıtkı Koçman Üniversitesi, Literature Faculty. My profession, Turkish language and literature. I'm PhD student. She's Guldana, studying Tourism Faculty. His name's Danyar. He's studying Accounting Faculty. And Medet, he's studying Tourism Faculty.
My background is molecular biology and genetics, but I think the reason why I'm sitting here is my experience abroad. So I spent 20 years of my life abroad. I spent 10 years both in Germany and United States. What I believe is that going to other countries, seeing other people, learn about other culture is expanding your horizon in a very positive manner.
My name is Cecilia. I am from the United States. I am an English-speaking teacher in Muğla. I love reading, cooking, and cats. For my undergrad, I went to Penn State University in Pennsylvania, and for my master's, I went to Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. I'd been to a few places. My mom is from Spain and my dad is from France, so I've spent a lot of time in both those countries.
My name is Helen Kimprikos, and I'm in Turkey on a Fulbright scholarship, doing an English teaching assistantship. I'm working in a preparatory school, helping students learn English to pass their exam so they can enter their undergraduate degree.
So I'm into my third, fourth month of the preparation course, and it's been really good because my teacher doesn't speak English, and so you spend 3-4 hours a day, every day during the week, just speaking Turkish, and I think that really helps you to learn the language quickly and effectively. My class is mainly people from Kazakhstan, Arabic people, yeah, that's it really, and then there's just me, so some of them speak English, but most of them just speak Arabic or Kazakhstanian, so I speak to them occasionally.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura. I'm from Slovakia. I'm 20 years old. I am studying here at the Tourism Faculty, Tourism and Management. In my country, I studied at University of Economics, the capital city, Bratislava. This is my second year at the university. Yes, here in Turkey it's counted as the third, but in Slovakia it's the second. I came here in September. I am planning to go home in 2 weeks, but I extended my Erasmus studies, so I'm staying until June because it's so good and I really like it.
Oh yeah, Mike, I can say more. So my friends were telling me in Bursa, if you go, please try Iskender.
When I say I am from Hungary, everybody is Hungary. No, I am from Hungary, and everybody says Hungary, I'm hungry.
Other than çiğ köfte. No, I like çiğ köfte. It's okay. But like a lot of Turkish people say how much they love it. And Linda, you said you love it. But I just think it's okay. I wouldn't choose to eat it. But if we're going to go to a restaurant that sells it, I'll eat it. But it's not my choice. I think it's Iskender. No, lahmacun.
I'm José Manuel Alba. I came from Spain, from Jaén, from the University of Jaén. It's in the south of Spain. So I'm working there as a teacher, professor of ancient history. Yeah, and I usually work in Egypt as archaeologist. As archaeologist with pottery, so usually my second topic of research is about olive oil in ancient Egypt and olive tree. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Matt. I am 22 years old. I am a computer science student. I come from Poland.
My name is Greg Beabout. I'm a professor of philosophy at St. Louis University in the United States of America. As an undergraduate, I studied at Loyola University in Chicago.
Oh, undergrad, I studied in Bordeaux University until I finished and completed my PhD. I'm from North France, a city called Lille. I was born in Lille. But I've been, as every archaeologist, I've been moving a lot. From Lille to Bordeaux, from Bordeaux to Turkey for a couple of years, then US for 3 years, then back to Turkey for 15 years, 16 years actually, and then finally back to France.
I'm shy now. I'm 21 and I come from England, and now I live in Turkey and I'm studying here at Muğla Sıtkı Koçman Üniversitesi. At the moment I'm doing a 1-year preparation course in learning Turkish, and then next year I will join the sport faculty.
I was born in Poland. I live in northwest, really close to Germany actually. So the closest airport for me is Berlin, which sometimes can be really convenient. For example, for coming here to Turkey, it's Mateuz. In my language, it's Mateusz. Here I just go by Matt because it's easier for people to say, I guess. My country is located between Germany and Ukraine. We have access to the Baltic Sea. We use zlotys as our currency. €1 is like 450 zlotys. We speak Polish language. So, dzień dobry. My country is known for being in the middle of 2 world wars. So we have a lot of history that some people find interesting.
Okay, I'm ready. Marhaba arkadaş. Dagaho ohay sahelam o kamlin yisabsoy. Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah. I'm 20 years old. I'm studying in Muğla Sıtkı Koçman University for Erasmus exchange. I'm studying sports here. I'm here for only 1 semester. I've been staying in Turkey for around 4 to 5 months.
I'm Winfried Held. I'm a professor of classical archaeology in the University of Marburg in Germany. I have been working since many years in the archaeology in Turkey, especially here in Caria, but also in some other parts of Turkey, like in Kilikia.
I can basically play all the sports, but my favorite sport is football. In Turkey, in Muğla, I'm in school's basketball team. By profession, I am a swimming coach and taekwondo coach. In sports, I was in national team for 1 year, under 18, taekwondo national team. I was black belt when I was 13 years old.
I'm Jeff Pocock. I am part of the International Society of McIntyre and Inquiry, and we have a conference here at Muğla University. I'm from the UK. I'm originally from London, but I currently work at Bristol University. So I studied at a London university.
I am from Hungary. Hungary is in the Middle Europe, the neighbor of Slovakia, as where is Laura living. I am studying in tourism department. This is my 3rd year in this faculty. I really like it. Before, in high school, I learned accounting and finance, but it was a bit boring for me, so I decided to study a bit more interesting things, so I chose tourism.
I did my studies in Germany at the universities of Berlin, Erlangen, and Göttingen, and I finished my PhD in Erlangen. Then I went for a year to Rome. Yes, I went to America. I have also been in France. Then I finished my studies in Greece.
Hi, I'm Hugh Elton from Trent University in Canada. When I was younger, I started working in archaeology in Italy and in Greece. And then when I was in sort of my late 20s, I started working in Turkey and have been coming back to Turkey ever since. I'm very, very happy with it. Undergraduate, Sheffield University in Britain. So I'm actually British, but ended up working first of all in America, then in Turkey, and now I'm in Canada. I like to think of myself more as a teacher, someone who helps young people sort of navigate their way through the world.
My country, it's not a big country, but we are almost 10 million people there, and we speak Hungarian. It's full of vineyards, like mountains, not that high because our highest mountain is like 1,000 meter high. So it's in Turkey, it's just a hill compared to these mountains, but we are so proud of this. It's Hungarian.
It's a Hungarian folk. It's like this. Yes, you have to put your hands like this.
With a bit skirt.
Yes,
and
with a
in the bottom.
skirt.
Yes.
Just like this.
They used to do like this. Nem így összefogják egymást.
Yes, or like this.
In
You can
a
be
circle.
like this.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of girls in a circle.
Or just this.
Yes.
You can decide whatever you want to do.
Come join us.
So I studied at a London university. The reasons for choosing the university were convenience, really, because it was close to where I lived. I'm from London, so I went to a London college, and they're pretty good colleges, so that's good. I chose what I was good at high school. Yeah, not what I necessarily liked, but I was following parental advice.
It wasn't hard because I had a lot of common subjects in accounting and finance and in tourism as well. So it was a good change for me, actually. Tourism is a bit easier to study, but it's more interesting. So I decided to come for an Erasmus because I wanted to see other countries, wanted to learn the English language more. I chose Turkey because I wasn't here before in this country, and I was so curious about the culture, the foods, and so on. And it was a perfect choice.
Loyola University in Chicago has a campus in Rome, in Italy, and in my third year, I studied in Rome. Before I traveled to Rome, I have, of course, studied the history and culture of Rome. Even, right, every child learns something about Rome and the Colosseum and the architecture and so forth. I took language courses, so I learned to speak Italian. But then when you're in the city, I think the most important thing that happens through international study is through a kind of incidental learning. So there's what you learn in the classroom, and you can learn that at your home university, but even more, what you learn by being in a different place, their way of life, your opportunity to eat meals with people from this culture, to share in their language, their culture, their form of life. The pace of Chicago and Rome are very different. Chicago is a working city, and Rome is a European city. In the afternoons, everything is slow. It was a new thing for me. I think the opportunity to be immersed in a particular place, you can see photographs in a book or now online to see pictures of Rome, but to be present physically and to see it, there's something very different that you learn just through presence, being there.
I wanted to come to Turkey because I had lived here when I was a child. My parents had been working in Turkey and they'd moved us from the US here. I had learned Turkish as a child and I love speaking Turkish, and I've continued to learn Turkish, and I wanted to come back to Turkey and work here. And one of my long-term hopes is that I can do medical research in Turkey, build bridges between the US and Turkey. So this was an amazing program to do that.
Not in high school, but a lot of my university friends, in fact, most of them went and did the Erasmus scheme. In fact, pretty much all of them. Yeah, all of them.
Did you?
But no, I didn't do that. No, because I chose a course which didn't have an Erasmus component, and I only learned about that late. There was an opportunity to go to Italy, but I couldn't take it. I had to work. I mean, in my case, I was working over the summers also. But my friends went to Spain and to France and Italy, and on my own, I went to live on a kibbutz, which is in Israel. The kibbutz is the communes that they have there. So I went to live in a big commune with lots of travelers. This was 1990. Yeah, this is quite a long time ago. Yeah, no, before university. So I took a gap year, went traveling, and then after university, I went to live in Japan. I went to live overseas.
I'm 21 years old. I am from Perugia, which is a small city in the center of Italy. There is a university there, Università degli Studi di Perugia. I study molecular biology there. I am already lab technician because I did a degree, a technical high school that got me technician degree, but I decided to go on with the studies, so I decided to continue with molecular biology. Hopefully at the end of the year, I will be a biologist, hopefully. Then I'm going to continue with the master still in molecular biology.
First, I will talk about Malta. I'm studying in Malta, MCAST University. I've been in Malta for nearly 2 years. Malta is a beautiful country. It has the smallest capital city in the world, which is Valletta. Malta is an island. The population in Malta is only 500,000, 500,000 population. In Hong Kong, it's also a small city. We are different from China. Everything is different. We have one country, two systems. Currency is different. Language is different. Driving is different. Hong Kong is left. China is right. The law is different. Everything is different. Yes, Hong Kong is an international city. You can see any country people in Hong Kong. English is second language there. The first language is Cantonese. Second is English. Third is Mandarin. I wanted to study somewhere abroad. I was searching it and then I found Malta and the course and then I felt interested, so I went to Malta.
Even like Kotekli is really good because it's packed with students. The day you are taking classes in university and the night you are staying still in this university environment but out with your friends. And it's really nice, really. I totally 100% recommend going to Erasmus in Turkey.
And I love sitting by the water, reading, then we go to a restaurant, we get a drink, we eat some food, and it's nice to just be near the beach and see it. And then we've been in Akyaka while the sun was setting and that was so beautiful. And it's so close, so there's like no reason not to go.
Me and my mum came on holiday twice and then she retired, so she moved here. And I came with her and I was only supposed to stay for 1 year and then go back to England for university. But then I met my boyfriend and I never left. And that's why I joined this university. Once I finished high school, I did A-levels and I did biology, sports science, and health and social care. I started trampolining when I was 4 years old and I competed nationally and internationally for like 14 years.
I think the first catch with archaeology for me was when I first entered an archaeological site and saw the way many people were working together as a team in order to find new material and to gather new information about the past. That was my first impression and I really enjoyed that.
My favorite, I guess, was Cappadocia and then paragliding in Oludeniz. I also really liked Ankara, which is an unpopular opinion here, I guess, because when I told some people that I'm going to Ankara, they were really surprised. And the first question I was asked was like, why? Like, why are you going there? But I really liked it. We got really lucky because one evening we went to the Koja Tepe Mosque and then we met the main imam, which took us to the top of the tower of the mosque, so I could see the whole city. We took the really small elevator to the top. It was really windy, but I really liked that experience. And he also gave us a copy of Quran in English.
So I actually didn't come to Turkey with a ton of information. I spoke to people who were familiar with Turkey, who either have family here or friends. Everything that people told me was the people are so nice, the food is so good. Whenever I would say I'm going to Muğla, everyone would be like, wow, Muğla, so beautiful, you're so lucky. So I think I was just really expecting obviously the good food, which is true. Turkey has amazing food, beautiful scenery, which as evidenced by the mountains and the gorgeous beaches nearby is true as well. And the people are very, very friendly and welcoming. And I feel like I can ask anyone anything and they're so helpful. And not only helpful, but they follow up. Like they're like, if you need more help, let me know. And so we'll connect via WhatsApp. So that's something that I think is pretty unique to Turkey, is how incredibly welcoming and kind people are.
When I went first time as a PhD student to Germany, I didn't know about their Christmas and Christmas Eve celebrations. So I was expecting to happen everything on 29th, 30th, but it was 24th and everybody was celebrating. I was alone there, didn't know what to do. Everybody was giving presents to others. So you feel first very lonely, you didn't know what to do. And at the beginning, a little emotional, but as much as you stay there, as much as you get in touch with these people, you know how they live, you understand them better, you make them understand you better. So I really have mostly very, very good experiences abroad. It's of course not easy to be somewhere else, which is not your hometown. But I usually come across with very good people who were always very helpful. And it's also a little bit up to you. If you are positive, then they are positive to you too. So I had all good experiences.
My father was working in Turkey, in Istanbul, well, outside Istanbul. My parents decided to put my older sister and I into a Turkish school, Hisar Eğitim Vakfı. So we were the only foreigners. It was all Turkish, but we were lucky in a sense because even though I didn't speak a word of Turkish, in second grade, the students at my school began taking English classes, and I began at that school in second grade. So thankfully, they knew a couple words in English, and it was kind of a sink or swim situation for me. So pretty quickly, I started to learn Turkish.
I lived in Japan for 5 years, so I can speak a little bit of the language. I can read it still, yes, yeah, I can get by in it. I can still watch movies and understand a lot of what's going on. No, I went to learn the language. Yeah, I didn't have a language, so I wanted to learn. I always wanted to learn language. I was there teaching English to Japanese business people, to high school children, to all kinds of Japanese people. And then when I returned, I continued to do that job. So I have a number of different roles. One of them is to teach language and literacy at university level, and that's what I do at Bristol University.
I didn't know what to expect. I thought that it was going to be a campus that was very isolated because when I saw photos of it on Google, I remember I saw mountains and I was like, that's so beautiful, but how do I get to campus? How do I come home from campus? Is there a restaurant near campus? And when I got here, I was like, oh my gosh, there's Kotekli, there's so much to do. There are the mountains that are so beautiful, the animal sanctuary that I love to go to. The campus definitely exceeded my expectations. I didn't think that I would spend as much time on it as I do, but very pleasantly surprised by it's huge. It's a huge campus, and everywhere is so different. Like here is where I'm very familiar with. Near the sanctuary is also so gorgeous, and then Kotekli is so much fun. Helen and I have been a few times to go for dinner. We went to dinner in Kotekli, and that's always a good time.
I am learning in Pannon Egyetem. It's in Veszprém. One of my teachers used to teach and study here in this university in Muğla. She made this partnership with my university. This was one of the reasons why I chose this country and this university, and because I said I haven't been here before, so I was curious. I don't want to go home, but I will in 2 weeks.
I've always wanted to do an Erasmus during my university year. I've decided to come to Turkey because usually people from Europe want to go to Spain, Germany, the two most common Euro Erasmus countries. I've already done an Erasmus in Poland during my high school, even if it was a workshop Erasmus. So I worked in a pharmaceutical company, but I was 17 and it was just for 3 weeks. So I couldn't go to Poland. All this common Erasmus country, Spain and Germany, Ireland, Sweden, everything you could ask for Erasmus. They had kind of very poor classes. The classes in English, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 maximum. The other courses were in their mother language. But I am a biology student. I do not speak Spanish, I do not speak French, I do not speak German. The thing was, or you go to Poland again, or you try Turkey. But my family was a little bit stiff because they didn't want me to go to Turkey because they are, I'm sorry, but they are close-minded. Turkey, the last opportunity. Because the other one was like a waste of time going to Erasmus in one of the other places. I checked all the courses that I had to do in Italy, and they were all in the biology course here. And I said, Interesting. I immediately sent an email. I don't even know who, like an email that I found on Muğla Sıtkı Koçman Üniversitesi website. Someone answered me in Italian. And I was like, okay, this is my sign. Go. It was Daniela. Basically, my Erasmus coordinator is Italian. She's from Sicily, actually. And she did the PhD in Perugia University. So I said, no, I have to go. Like, this is a sign. When you know you have to do something. I had to fight with all myself to come to Turkey because, as I said before, my parents were completely against it. They didn't want me to go, and my father said, if you have to go to Turkey, you are not going to go to Erasmus. I don't know, maybe they just accepted it in some ways, even if they were still not really happy about it. Now they understood. They were completely wrong about what they thought about this country, because in all Europe there is this thought about Turkey.
I had been to the region of Muğla before, yes. I had traveled the coast, but I had never visited Muğla Merkez, my new home. I'm thrilled to be in the mountains. I love being in this beautiful mountainous region. It's so green. And then I love taking the bus down to Akyaka. Every time we go down the mountains, and all of a sudden there's this sprawling plain and that meets the edge of the water. And just like that, you're on the Aegean Sea.
I had traveled a little bit, but only with my family. I had not traveled by myself. So I think partly it's the first time you really feel like you're an adult, where you're the one making your own decisions. In that time, this was before the internet. Letters were so slow, you couldn't write a letter, and so you really had to be an adult on your own. I think I ended up traveling, having one experience, and then coming home, I felt like a very different person. I had seen the world more, and I had a very different understanding then of what it is to be an American, because you notice a lot of things about your own way of life that you thought this is just what it is to be a human. And now it turns out, no, this is something that's just in the way we do things, because people in another country, another culture, they do things differently.
I lived in Turkey from the age of 7 till 13, so 2nd through 6th grade. When we left, we went to Switzerland. I'm not sure if I was able to miss Turkey because I was so busy getting used to a new place immediately afterwards. But I think the thing I missed the most was Turkish itself. Since leaving Turkey, I walk around with my ears pricked at all times for Turkish. I can peg Turkish from really far away, and then I have to go and introduce myself and say hello and just chat in Turkish for the fun of it. That's what I'm happiest about being in Turkey now, is just getting to speak Turkish every day.
Then I like to sing, just a random hobby. Bilmem mi or çok seviyorum. Çok seviyorum. I have to sing.
No, you don't have to, but it would be nice.
It will. There's a country song which I know. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mamas, take me home. Country roads. It's enough. It's enough. Thank you. Teşekkürler. Teşekkürler.
Number of the students we are calling international students is about 1,447, and these students are coming from 60 different countries. The international students are mostly coming from Azerbaijan, Yemen, Egypt, Syria, Kazakhstan, and Guinea. Those are the countries which we are having the most populated international students. Muğla is really a very nice part of Turkey. I mean, if you want to have fun, Muğla is the place to be in. I mean, it is very close to the most touristic locations here in Turkey. It's very close to Marmaris, to Bodrum, to Fethiye, to Akyaka. I mean, there are many places to go. If a student is interested in coming to Muğla Sıtkı Koçman University, first of all, I need to tell you that we are not on coast side. I mean, Muğla Sıtkı Koçman University is a center. We are not on the coast, but we are very close to sea. They need to know that. But we have different vocational schools in different parts of Muğla city. So they need to look at the materials which they need to analyze carefully before they apply to programs, and they need to see what these programs offer, what the city has to offer, and they are always able to get in touch with the people in our university. They are really very enthusiastic about trying to help all of them out.
I've been here, as I say, 4 days. I learned that the region where we are staying, our room is in Akyak, and they say it's heaven. And it's very beautiful. The university here, as you can see, is quite beautiful for students that want to come and study. I'm not an expert on Turkey, but it's been very good to me. Yeah.
The closest shore to the city is Akyaka, and it's about 15 to 20 minutes. So with minibuses, you will be able to be on the coast within a very short time. Smaller towns within the governing city of Muğla are also very popular. Bodrum is a well-known touristic place. So educationally, what I can say about Bodrum is a very nice town, it's a very touristic, and academically, the Faculty of Fine Arts, if you are interested in fine arts, that would be a good place to go. Additionally, you can also study some marine-related fields. In Marmaris, you can get some education on health services, an associate degree program, so it's a 2-year program, or study tourism in Marmaris. We have the Faculty of Fisheries. Fisheries have some facilities in Öğr. In Fethiye, as we said, you can study tourism, or you can study also management. There is a faculty for management over there, business exactly, and additionally, I think they have also the faculty for health sciences. There are many options you can make use of if you are interested in studying in Muğla Sıtkı Koçman University.
Yeah, do it as soon as possible. The sooner you do it, the better. Yeah, not a single person. Everybody thinks it's the best thing that they've ever done. Yeah, everyone. I've never met anyone who said that it was a bad idea. And you'll be transformed by it. It changes your life.
So the awareness that you have of the world and of your family and your culture, the world becomes bigger for you and your life becomes bigger. Yes.
It's good being an international student because I'm used to being here, so it doesn't feel like I'm in a foreign country anymore. It kind of feels like home to me now. I have 2 homes, England and here. And I think the process was relatively easy for joining. It did help massively that I obviously had a Turkish boyfriend. I think without him, at points I would have struggled because I'm quite shy, so I don't like asking questions. So I made him do it instead. But you can easily email or call, and there's always people to give you answers. So it's been a really good process, and I can't wait to actually start my real degree now in sports science. Well, I've chosen sports science. I'm doing recreation.
I think you need to be open to the new experiences of living in a different country. If there's a different language, do some work to prepare to learn the language, but you're going to learn so much more at a certain point. When I began to have dreams in Italian, it enters into your life and you're become changed, and it's hard to know ahead of time everything that's going to happen. But life is a journey, life is an adventure, and when you really go on a journey for your studies, I don't know what's going to happen to your students who do this, and they don't know what's going to happen, except this, it's an adventure. And for me, it was, I think, one of the best and most positive adventures of my undergraduate studies. And I strongly encourage students who are thinking of international study, you need to be careful. It's a complex world, right? Keep your hand on your wallet, but also be open to new adventures and open to learning in ways that are unplanned and outside of the classroom.
Well, I think especially if you're coming from England, one of the benefits is the weather, for sure. Although it does get very hot in summer, but I like the heat, so that's not a problem. And I just think it's a really big university, and there's lots to choose from. There's like so many courses to choose from. I was actually surprised when I started looking. And they do actually provide some courses that are taught in English, because that was one of my first options. I wouldn't learn Turkish and I'd do another course, but then I decided I'd prefer to do sport. I think this is a really great location if you enjoy travelling, because you're so close to so many different things. Even the likes of Greece, you can get a ferry to Greece and stuff like that. So if you enjoy travelling, this is a great country to come to, because the culture's so different, there's such a great history, and there's so much you can learn. And I just think Turkey is a good country to choose from. It's a great country, and I think the culture, the weather, the history, the food are all really good things to consider.
Of course, they've got to decide where they want to go. If they want to learn a language, they've got to choose somewhere where English is not spoken so much, and you've got to choose it for the right reasons, right? Will it enable you not just to get a job, but enable you to learn new things? Will you be taught things that will help you with the language, right? So Turkish is a great example. It's a rich culture with a rich language, and there are many aspects to it. If you learn the language, you learn things about being a human being from learning Turkish, right, which you don't get from English or from another language. And that's the beauty of it, right? So from learning Japanese, you learn the particularities of the Japanese way of life, which it improves your own character, is the right word, really. It's character building.
Well, I said, I did my Erasmus in France when this was in the prehistoric times, but I always suggest that it should be mandatory to all students to go abroad and study 1 year, because it's not only to learn a new language, it's also to know another, culture, other people, and you only not meet people from that country, you also meet another Erasmus students, so that means that you will meet people from almost every part of the world, so that's also, make really open your mind and also see that there is many possibilities with your studies and in the world, and that, so I would really recommend that.
Definitely, they should be exchange students. I mean, most of the students, they want to graduate, and then they say, okay, I'm not a student anymore. And I tell them, well, this is a mistake. Enjoy being a student, because when you're a student, there are so many facilities, scholarships that would help you go abroad. Once you finish your PhD, for example, okay, good, you're a doctor, but you don't enter any more kind of scholarships. So you cannot move anymore. So you have to apply for big money, and big money, you've got big people applying for those as well. So enjoy being a student. You should go away, you should see the world, because this is the time to do it. I mean, if you wait for graduation to do that, it's too late. Do that as early as possible.
Everyone should go, because it's a really good opportunity for learning the language, know the country better. So I say go, go, go.
And I think, I again repeat, it's good. I would recommend all of my students to have some international experience. I mean, go. Whether it's 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 1 year, but go and come back if you want to. That's what I would say.
Anywhere you like, but travel with joy and with hope that things work out well. And the people like to find people from different countries, different cultures, different experiences. The world's a very friendly and open place, and just go out there and explore it. That's what I would say.
I hope, the more Korean students, I ask them to expand, the opportunities, not only focusing on the language program, but also, the kind of program to experience real Turkey. So that's maybe in order to do that, coming to the Muğla is one of the choice, I think.
Go for it, even if it's not a common country. I know that Spain and party life, all this stuff that you might think about would it be. But I think that Erasmus in Turkey, it's more of a 360 degrees experience. It's similar to Italy and even Malta, for example, because we are really all Mediterranean country. Of course, there is cultural shock when you first come here. Like I remember my first day, I was a little bit like this. But I think, as I said before, is a really complete experience.
I recommend to every student of archaeology to come to Turkey and see the wealth of this country, the various levels and various times that are preserved in terms of archaeology. So you're excavating history from the Ottoman period, and you can go back until Neolithic period. That is beautiful. And there are few countries that offer this wealth to this extent, with so many cities of the ancient period that you can still explore and connect it with the beauty of the nature, which will be beautiful for everybody who is visiting it.
Well, I think the campus is very nice. I love when it's a bit green, so the campus is very nice, and the academy is wonderful. I mean, this is one of the few universities where you've got a very serious archaeology department. I mean, those universities, you can count them on the fingers of one hand, and Muğla is part of those.
Erasmus, it's an exceptional experience. It's an experience which builds friendships, not only for 5 months, but I'm sure it builds friendships for a lifetime. I've done this Erasmus for 2 weeks in Tenerife, and I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to make it a point to go and study abroad. And of course, when you are out of your comfort zone, when you are living in a foreign country, you open your mind more.
Well, number one, you should obviously do it. Number two, you should prepare yourself to be uncomfortable a little bit, and you should look for ways to make yourself comfortable in your new environment. So you won't have all the things you want or that you're used to. For example, we go to the grocery store and Cecilia is always saying, "Oh, do they have maple syrup or chocolate chips?" And I'm like, no, like they have alternatives, but they don't have quite those things exactly the way you want them. And that's okay, because we can think of ways around it. But there are many things that I'm used to that just aren't here in this life, in this time of my life. And that's fine, because I knew that I wanted to be a little uncomfortable so that I could get to enjoy all the fun of learning a new place.
I knew German because I started my primary school in Germany. My father lived in Germany, so the first language I properly learned language was German. So when I came back to Turkey, I wasn't able to speak Turkish, so they take me back. But when I did my undergraduate study here, and then did my graduate study here, then applied to Germany. But before I applied, I get in touch with the universities, with the faculty members. I wrote them, and they asked me for an interview. So if a student is interested in continuing their education abroad, what I would do is I would first look up at the country, cities, departments I would be interested in living. So then I would write to the person which you might work with, which you might do your study with, and try to make as many connections as possible. I mean, you should try. As much as you try, your chances to get accepted is better.
Do some more research on all the paperwork you need, the prices it costs to get some of the paperwork, like you have to send them to notaries and apostles and stuff like that, which for international students would be less of a problem because they're in their home country. But because I was here and I couldn't get to England because of coronavirus, I had to spend a lot of money on postage of my school certificates back to England, back to Turkey.
It is important here in Turkey to advance your language skills. It would be really good. Nobody expects you to speak English like a native speaker, but it would, of course, be nice to be able to express your feelings, express your problems, and to understand the responses you are getting. Therefore, language is very important.
You learn to say English words very loudly. No. Or do you learn to prepare as best you can for those situations? Going through those experiences teaches you how you can better address them later. It's a learning curve, as it were.
I would suggest to do as many international programs, exchange programs as possible. I've done a few, like I studied abroad when I was in undergrad. I loved it. It's always been such an incredible experience. I think it's definitely hard sometimes, especially with a language barrier. It's something that coming into Turkey, I was not expecting to have that much of a language barrier. I don't know why. I guess I just thought that I would pick it up quickly or something, which obviously I haven't. I think that if someone wants to go and study in a different country or teach in a different country, they should go somewhere that they're unfamiliar with and somewhere where they speak a little bit of the language, but they don't have to speak it fluently. Like, I think it's okay to struggle. But yeah, I think it's honestly one of the best things I've ever done is truly like living in another country for a few months. I've always had such an amazing time doing it. So I would say go for it. It's good to spend at least a month or more in a place to really get to know it. And I feel like I'm starting to get to know Muğla. Not enough yet, but it's like definitely forcing me to learn more Turkish. It's forcing me to also just try to understand context. So yeah, I think like 1 month or more is the perfect time to live in another country.
Much more, so openness to others, definitely. Awareness of alternatives, living alternatives, political alternatives, how to communicate how to live on your own, how to survive on your own, how to communicate even if you don't know the language, all of those skills you pick up.
This university is massive university. I'm happy at least to say that I got to tour the university, so we went around a few institutes and faculties pretending we're students from there. Just so big, like 2 lakes in this university, a massive library, all the faculties look very nice. The more modern ones, of course, are very nice. My faculty, the sports faculty, was a very, very nice one. My lecturers were all very helpful, very, very nice. There was a language barrier because in the sports faculty they teach in Turkish, so a lot of teachers made a big effort for me and Abdullah to teach us in English. It was a bit more simpler for 5 of us. Our classes were a bit more relaxed, examinations were a bit more relaxed. Muğla Sıtkı Koçman University is definitely one I would recommend Erasmus people to come to, for sure, because Muğla is a nice place in Turkey to come to and to go to Fethiye, to go to Marmaris, to go to Akyaka, Bodrum, Izmir. You know, you're very close to a lot of the hotspots in Turkey. And then if you just want all the other hotspots, it's just a 1-hour flight, a 1-hour bus and a 1-hour flight. So I would definitely recommend Erasmus students to come and take their Erasmus experience in this university.
Usually I go and sit in a off Main Street cafe or bar. You can meet people there. If you're on the front, it's tourists who will be like you, but if you want to get to know people, you want to be given some guidance and have some fun, you do that. So yeah, I think that's good advice. Don't be afraid to go on your own to places. You may be worried about doing that, but you should try and overcome those fears, because going on your own is a great way of meeting people. Because people instinctively know that you're on your own and will want to take responsibility for it. It's just nature, human nature. So yeah, they have your interests at heart. Yeah, definitely.
I speak 4 languages. I speak English, French, Spanish, and Italian. I'm trying to learn Turkish, but it's hard. It's a hard language. Probably yok or hayır. Because at the supermarket, I remember they would always ask me something and I'd always say evet, like yes. And then they would wait for me to give them something, and I tried to give them like my card to pay, and they'd say something else. And then I talked to Helen about it, and she was saying they're asking you for your supermarket card, like for your discounts and stuff. So now I just say yok to the first question, and the second question I hand over my credit card.
So I can read Arabic. I can speak about 6 languages: English, Cantonese, Mandarin, Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi, and biraz Turkish.
Just actually Italian and English. I used to speak also French, but I kind of deleted it from my mind. I don't know how, because I didn't continue speaking it like I used to speak English all the time. So I didn't use it and I lost it. But now I'm trying to learn Portuguese. Anyway, English and Italian. I kind of know just the bare minimum that you can know for Turkish, and this is absolutely not enough. I'm really, really proud of myself when I have to say afiyet olsun or teşekkürler. bir tane mantarlı or something else. Like I'm so proud.
And to know a couple of languages is something which makes you richer. Not only in knowledge, but also in the brain, because if you are speaking in a different language, you will also be thinking in that language and you will think different. If you are saying roughly the same thing in German or in Turkish, it will not be the same. It's somehow different. And you cannot really translate everything.
I do speak German, I speak Greek, I speak English, I speak French, and I speak Italian. I'm sorry I don't speak Turkish. I like speaking because every new language opens a door to you and a new world. So you learn understanding the people, not only just everyday life, you learn understanding how people are and why they are like this if you know the language.
Well, I can only speak Turkish, French, and English. Then I can read a bit more. I mean, you have to be able to read foreign language if you want to do some serious research. So I can read Italian, Spanish, German, of course. I can understand people speaking those languages, but I wouldn't dare trying to speak those languages.
Don't be afraid of the language, just speak up. And as long as communication is there, it's no matter how good or bad you think you're speaking, communication has to be there.
Herodotus. Now, Herodotus is the historian, ancient historian of the, and there's a Turkish name, I forget what the Turkish name is.
Yeah, Herodot.
Yeah, all right, Herodot, yeah. So I read that and it made me think, oh, I've got to go on trips. I want to go to Ephesus especially. I want to go on a mountain tour. I want someone to guide me around the nice spots and camping as well, right? I mean, I've heard that it's good for camping. You can camp up in the mountains. Is that right? I think that, yeah, I want to do that.
What I like about Turkish people, they are incredibly welcoming people. I mean, I've been walking the lands and the rural landscapes of Turkey. I've never seen people so welcoming. You know, I mean, they would open your house, they would share their food, they would give you whatever you need and provide you, even if it's hard for them, they would provide you whatever you need. And that's very, very touching. That's how we create bonds, very good bonds.
I also want to come across the Turks, the locals who live in the village, come across villages and village culture and experience that too. Because my knowledge of Turkish culture is it's very open to strangers and very welcoming, and I'd like to experience that.
There are several exchange programs, especially in the field of language. Turkey and the Korean language. Usually, that kind of program was operated by the Korea Foreign Language University and the other language universities. In case of university here, Ankara University and the Erciyes University, Istanbul University. So now we are really focusing on the language programming exchange. But in the future, if possible, we want to expand the field.
We in total have actually 3 exchange programs. One of them is the Erasmus program. Erasmus program is financed by European Union with the financial supports we are getting from EU. We are capable of running this program. The other international exchange program is Mevlana program. Mevlana program is financed and supported by Higher Council of Education. This program is unfortunately currently inactive. However, it gives the chance to students to go to a big number of countries. They are actually capable to go almost all the countries in the world when they are interested in, as long as the university is getting some agreements. And the third program is a Farabi program. Farabi program is a national program and enables our students to do 1 or 2 semesters in another university within Turkey, or other students to come to our university to do their study for 1 or 2 semesters. All these programs are independent of whether the students are national or international, open to all students of Muğla Sıtkı Koçman Üniversitesi. Yeah, that's, I think, what I can say about these programs. Which countries are these students mostly coming from? You are talking about the Erasmus program. We are having agreements with 23 European countries. These programs are running based on the dual agreements between universities. So 23 different European countries, 140 universities are involved, and they are having some agreements with our university. The number of the agreements which we are having with these universities is about 300, and the students which we are making exchange, we are offering mobility, are mostly coming from Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, and so on. And about our students which are making use of Erasmus program and go to foreign countries, I can tell you that we are getting 700 to 900 applications on yearly basis. 120 to 140 students each year are getting the opportunity to go to partner universities to make use of this Erasmus program. It doesn't matter whether a student is a Turkish student or an international student, as long as a person is registered as a Muğla Sıtkı Koçman University student in our university. It doesn't matter. They may use this program whether they are international or national.
I find that the university, so I only am familiar with the hazırlık program, and I think like it's very rigorous in terms of the students are only learning English this year. So they have my speaking class once a week, each class. I have 9 classes, and I see each class for 80 minutes a week. And then the rest of the week, they're taking hours and hours of English grammar class and English writing practice and reading. And that I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of their English levels. But a lot of my students are actually very good at English already. Some students struggle more, and that's just because they haven't been exposed to the language as much. But I'd say it's, in terms of the students' abilities, I would say they're pretty similar to American students at that age. Like, I remember at that age, I definitely was a very similar student in terms of joking around in class, but also taking it seriously, and the levels varied a lot.
Yeah, I'm a global citizen, but global in the sense of being both of a universal culture which we can all relate to, so a very human culture, but with local characteristics which are also part of my citizenship. Yeah, in that sense of global, then that's how I see myself, for sure. I think that if everyone has that potential, then, you know, to have the opportunity to do it, then the world will be a better place, right? I mean, I've definitely benefited from perspectives that I've not had locally or not had just globally, right? In a big sense, you know, it's the differences that bring us together, they don't divide us, yeah.
Yeah, I think the notion of a global citizen is a complex concept. We're each citizens of our own local community. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and then I'm a citizen of the United States of America. But I'm also a citizen of the earth. And we're all, and the whole globe, the old expression, we're all made of the same dough. One worry I have about being global citizens is that we become disconnected from our local communities. But I think through international study, you can learn about another local community, and part of what happens then is you can learn to become more aware of and more immersed in your own local community. So I worry about global citizenship that makes us forgetful of our own culture and our own face-to-face neighbors. The new social media age, everyone's looking at screens, and we forget to look at other human beings. The upside when you're visiting another place, it's easy to put down your phone and look at the person that you're seeing, and then you develop that habit, and then when you return back to your own place, you can see something with new, fresh eyes. And are we global citizens? Yes, of course. But also I hope we are local citizens.
So I think having knowledge of different cultures, to see different countries makes you gain a lot. So therefore, I will consider myself also a global citizen. I will consider myself, it makes you think differently, be more relaxed, try more to understand the problems of people who are not in their own countries. Therefore, I think that being familiar with different cultures is a good thing. Therefore, we are trying to encourage also these intercultural connections. I think everybody knows, I don't know whether it's necessary to say that, but when you are applying for a graduate program or even for an undergraduate program, you need to have these SAT scores or TOEFL scores. I mean, there are some central examinations which you need to go through, and you need to get the best possible scores that will advance your chances. So invest in yourself, try to improve your language skills, try to improve yourselves academically, get good references, and make as many applications as possible, and hopefully get to the place you will be happy in. That's what I would say.
Favorite Turkish drink is vişne suyu, cherry juice. I love cherry juice.
You don't have that?
No, we don't have cherry juice in the U.S. I love how sweet it is. I love how fun it is. And I think it's because I drank cherry juice as a kid that it was a combination of sugar and nostalgia that makes it very appetizing to me.
In Umbria is famous for salami. I really love trying a lot of stuff. Wherever I go abroad, I like to try different things. Like Iskender, I cannot eat it, but the rest of it I really love. I think my favorite stuff here is I recently discovered çiğ köfte, and I love çiğ köfte. Kunefe, one of my favorites. Börek. Börek in general, I love börek. Börek. Börek. Sorry. Börek, yes.
It's börek. It's pastries. I love all of them. I have a pastry probably every single day. I have it with potatoes, with cheese, with meat. I have it like poğaça, and then I have simit. I eat so much bread in Turkey. I think maybe that's why I love Turkey so much. We're both bready people, bready cultures. I really fit in when it comes to that.
I will talk about food in Hong Kong. So we have polo pao. In English is pineapple bun. In Turkish, ananas, ekmek. The bun is not pineapple, it just looks like pineapple, but the flavor is not pineapple, it's just a normal bun. And we have egg tart. It's made of egg. It's a tart like apple pie. It's sweet, yes, a little bit sweet. We have fish balls. In Turkey, you have kofte balls. In Hong Kong, we have fish balls. In Turkey, you drink chai. In Hong Kong, we have milk tea with bubbles made from rice. Inside the tea, it's like jelly, chewy. You can swallow it. In Hong Kong, 珍珠奶茶. In English, bubble milk tea. In Turkish, I don't know what is bubble, but chai.
I like fish. I like when I was in Pergamon, we used to eat fish there on the beach. That was very nice.
Saçkawarma. Yeah, so, but it's all biberli also.
Many foods, but as many Koreans is I like the kaimak with the honey. That's I like it, and also I like choroba, and also I like the many kinds of kebab. So it means I like every kind of the Turkish food.
We have one similar food in Hungary as it in Turkey. In Turkey, it's named pishi. this thing. We have it in Hungary. The name is langos, and we eat it with sour cream and cheese. And the Hungarian word pisi, it's a pee, like when someone is peeing. Pisi, translation to Hungarian, is pee.
Yeah, no, fish and chips is nice because England doesn't really have any traditional food. Like, every country can talk about all the nice food they have. England, you have fish and chips, pies, and probably roast dinners, and that's it. Oh, black pudding, I've never eaten that, but yeah, I think that is English, isn't it? But I've never tried it. I like pies, and I do like a roast dinner, and I do like fish and chips, but it's just, you know, when you compare it to other countries that have like a long list of traditional yummy food, and then England you have like 4 things. It's a bit disappointing. Turkish food, I like Turkish food, but sometimes it's a bit too spicy for me because I grew up in England and my mum doesn't like spicy food, so I grew up eating very plain food. So the food here, I find it very spicy, but slowly I'm eating more and more spice. But I love Turkish food. I love lahmacun, and I like iskender, even though Linda hates the smell. To be honest, every Turkish food I've tried so far, I've loved.
The people are so kind and friendly. I can make friendship with like everybody here. So they are so open and incredible. In Hungary, a lot of people like so closed. Here it's so easier. My favorite one is lahmacun, pide also, but iskender is so good. We don't really like olives because in Hungary we don't really eat it. But I tasted it like 2 times, 3 times, but still not really.
Turkish food? Well, the problem with me is that I hate onions and I hate tomatoes. Turkish people put onions and tomatoes in every dish pretty much. So usually I have to ask in restaurants not to put them. But other than that, I really liked pide. The kebabs are really good. Hatay, doner, yeah. Chikofte, yes. They give ketchup to everything. Like, maybe I could make a kebab, I don't know, like a doner, basic doner. But other than that, no. But they put ketchup everywhere, and if you order a pizza, you will get ketchup.
I advise you to try our pastizzi. They are very delicious. Pastizzi, super. Then we've got a drink, it's called kini. You either love it or you hate it. It's a soft drink, kini. Then another Maltese dish is rabbit, a rather common Maltese traditional dish. My grandmother cooks the perfect rabbit. I'm happy eating it.
My favorite Turkish word? Oh, food. I forget how to say it in Turkish. It's those grape leaves with rice inside. Sarma? Oh yes, I love sarma. Or dolma, yes, dolma is the one but I was familiar with, but I was told in Turkish it's sarma. Oh, so it literally means wrap. Okay, interesting, okay. That's good to know. That is probably my top 3 favorite foods. I love Turkish tea. Like, I love the culture of drinking tea after your meal. I really like the way that chickpeas are prepared, at least at the canteen that we go to, in sort of like a tomatoey sauce over rice. So it's simple, but it's delicious. Isn't it yogurt? Yeah, I don't eat yogurt. No, I'm vegan. I know, I chose a bad time to do it. I haven't been able to try a lot of the traditional Turkish foods.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, ismim Olivier Henry. Ben işte arkeoloji profesörüm. Fransa'da çalışıyorum. Lyon Üniversitesi'nde ve 2013'ten beri laboratuvar kazı başkanıyım.
Okulumuz çünkü üniversite çok güzel ve çok gelişti. Bunu ön plana çıkaracak ne yapabiliriz diye bir amaçla çıkmıştık aslında.
And this is Fulbright in Turkey.
That is most serious.
Yeah, it was honestly a little creepy. You went high.
You have no idea what you're getting.
Yeah, okay.
Evet, burada başlangıcımız güzel olduğunu yazmış.
Ekle.
Kazaklarda bir söz var. Jaxsının jaxsılığına ait nuru tassın. Türkçe'ye çevirdiğimizde iyinin iyiliğini söyle de nurlansın, nuru ışığı dağılsın da başkalarını da nurlandırsın diye. Onun için buradaki hocalara, üniversitedeki eğitim görevlilerine, memurlarına, herkese çok teşekkür ediyorum.
Okay? Güle güle.
Güle güle. Thank you, thank you, thank you.